Okay, so we're heading up into the Angeles Crest. Just want to test out the new GSX-R 600 shock I installed on my 300 this weekend, and see how it feels on the curves. I got it set at the stock settings for the GSX-R. I got that out of their service manual. I'll link you to the thread in the comments below how to go find out about this install yourself. So a lot of good info there, and it was a pretty decent install. It took a bit longer to install because the modifications to make the shock fit were a bit grueling. Now, drilling out the holes was relatively easy compared to widening the clevis on the bottom of the shock so it fits the swing arm linkage on the 300. In the wrong gear. So yeah, that part took me a while. I had to go to the store and get a different. I did it with a hand file, and that took a bit longer than I anticipated because I had the wrong kind of file. It was too precise, and I had to go get a more coarse one so I could actually start making some dents in the metal. But once I got the coarse one in there, about a half an hour to an hour's work, I had it widened up enough and I could get it back together again. It's a relatively easy install. You might need a couple tools you probably don't normally have for working on your bike, like jack stands. 19mm sockets are a bit, you know, not usual in your average just large socket set, so you may need to go acquire yourself one of those. And of course, the new bolts you need to move the dog bones out, those are extra long, and you might have a little trouble finding those at a hardware store. But like I said, the thread below has all the details, and you can find out about it. Now, one thing I don't think I've remembered to bring today, that's good, open to Fondale, is any tools to adjust the suspension settings at any point in the ride. Maybe firm it up a bit and try see what that feels like. So let's see what this shock does for me. I mean, I'm constantly evolving as a rider, so it's, you can't just say, the shock made that huge of a difference in my riding ability out here. I'm always pushing the edge a little more. I don't know if I have any way to adjust the settings, but I heard you can firm them up. Just see how, take it till it's too firm and then back it off until it's acceptable is basically a good way to go. And there's like 4 different settings on this shock. I mean, there's the spring preload, which I might need new wrenches to mess with. And then there's the damping and rebound, I believe. And rebound has a high speed and a low speed, which is pretty cool. That was nice of him, finally. So, things seem to be going pretty good on the curves. I mean, I would say I think it's not like squishing up and down so much. It seems like it's more stable. Tire feels like it's staying in charge of what's going on. I'm still being informed. So, seems alright. much colder in the shade up here today. Much colder. I love the echo. I don't know if you can pick that up on the camera. The little echo when I'm next to those railings is kind of neat. And I got the preload adjusters in the front. That's all I've done so far. I've been thinking about maybe the, what do you call them? Race Tech emulators. And maybe some springs and oil to match me. You know, much heavier rider than your average suspension is probably tuned for. I like this small. But I don't know. Haven't made my mind up yet. I want to see how this thing does. It feels like it doesn't float like the stock one might, where, you know, like the squishiness. It feels more firm and connected the whole time. And it doesn't seem to have that problem where the back end kind of lifts up when you start braking hard. It stays more level. It keeps the rear on the ground. You can use the rear for braking or just control. And the way the stock shock makes it less usable. I have to say, it's funny, like, yeah, right, these days, on this, I'm trying to use higher and higher speed in this canyon, and it's making the gearing interesting. Like, maybe I need to make a little adjustment. Just, I don't want to make it even shorter. But it feels like, well, I guess I'd have to make it slightly taller. To get a little more ground into third gear. Fourth doesn't seem to have the torque you really want on this hill. But if you want the speed, you gotta either keep third up near 10,000 RPM, or you gotta ride fourth. So this is fourth. Still goes good, but then you probably gotta downshift for the corners. Flash out of the corners. Back up to fourth. Another rock. And, I can't really take advantage of the engine braking. I had to really get into the real braking, which I guess that's higher speed way to go. You know, push it so hard you have to, you know, get on the binders. That's a good way to really push. And I'm just doing a nice fun cruise, but I'm mostly sticking in third, I guess. Not really. Okay, there's snow on this car? Is there snow up here somewhere? I'm gonna fix my posture. Get some weight off my hands. Oh. This is not a good segment. Whoa, got a little slip there. Have to be careful. Oh, there is snow on the ground. Alright, I am not prepared to ride through this stuff. We gotta find a good turning around point. Wow. Alright. Well, that's the problem with Angeles Crest. Snow. this time of year. Snow and ice are not my idea of a good time. We're going back.